Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the June 2nd school board meeting. I think everyone's in attendance. I'd like to call the meeting to order and have a pledge to the flag. Please stand if you're ready. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Again, welcome to everyone, both here and may join us online later. I would like to report that we did have an executive session earlier this evening, starting at 5:30. That was the purpose to discuss the safety of our district. It was presented by Mr. Turner, one of our police officers. It was Mr. Stern, excuse me, and he met with us to go over the security report, which is required by the Pennsylvania School Code, and some of that is submitted to the state. Okay, student staff recognition and board reports. Do we have any this evening, Dr. Johnson?
No, sir.
Mike, is your daughter here? She's not. Well, we have a special gift for everyone. She did do some reporting to the board this year and some things, so this is kind of a little going away present. So, Mike, you'll get to take it home. I don't think there's any Take 5 bars in it. So, no looking for the food. But please present this down on behalf of the school board, on behalf of the district. Thank you.
We'll have to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Could be cool if he tries it on right now.
That's right. Might be something for college. Very good. Any reading of correspondence, Dr. Rampton?
No, sir.
Thank you. Recognition of visitors. We ask that everyone has signed the clipboard for tonight's meeting. It's good for us to have a record of whoever is here. Donna, we have some public comment cards. Very good. We'll start with Mr. Michael Deal, please. Mr. Michael Deal. Thank you, Mr. Deal, as always.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to offer a prayer, so those that would choose to join me, please do. Eternal God, we thank you so much for your goodness to this school district. We ask, Father, that tonight that you would pour upon this board member wisdom beyond their years. Father, that you would bless the children of this district, the parents, the residents, our teachers, our administration. God, the word says you are a good God, and so we honor you and thank you. We ask this evening, Father, that you just help each individual be aware and awakened to the truth of what is going on throughout this district, and that you would help and encourage each one of us to take and partner together, to work together for the good of all. We thank you and honor you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Deal. Adam Mulder, please.
Hi, good evening. I want to share a few thoughts tonight about some of the decisions that you will be making regarding school property tax coming up, increasing potentially by 1.5%, and more importantly, the possibility that you may reduce that number as was discussed at our last meeting. At the last meeting, it was said that we do not have a balanced budget and that Big Spring will have to pull $1.4 million out of our savings to be able to keep up with operating expenses next year, even with a 1.5% increase. Since 2014, Big Spring's property tax rate has increased 24%, which sounds like a lot, but when you look at all the districts in Cumberland County, in that same span of time, the average rate of increase has been 36%. If you look at all of those school districts, Big Spring is the only school district in the last 5 years who has done a 0% tax increase as we did last year. And to put some things in context, the state publishes the Act 1 index, as we've referenced in the Finance Committee meetings and have come up in some public comment. The Act 1 index informs school districts each year of the tax increases that may be necessary to help keep up with inflation. And Big Spring has not raised property taxes to the Act 1 index since 2016. To put this more in perspective, recently, In the 22-23 school year, the Act 1 index for Big Spring was 4.3%, but Big Spring only approved a 2.5% increase. In 23-24, the Act 1 index for Big Spring was 5.1%, but Big Spring only approved a 1.5% increase. In school year 24-25, the Act 1 index for Big Spring was 6.5%, and yet Big Spring did not raise taxes last year, settling for a 0% tax increase. This year, the Act 1 index for Big Spring is 5%, and we are considering a 1.5% increase or less. In the last 10 years, the only other school districts in our county to raise taxes by 0%, there have been 3 of them. And in the years that follow that, they always have to end up increasing taxes because that's what happens. I'm really grateful for Mr. Gallagher's perspective on that from a Big Spring perspective several years ago. Why do school districts do that? Why don't we just lower the taxes and keep them low? It's because 0% school tax increases are not sound fiscal policy. Small incremental increases to keep up with inflation, or at least part of inflation, is how we sustain fiscal health. Look no further than Cumberland Valley right now to see that even with a large tax base, poor fiscal policy can create significant distress and disruption to student learning. And so in closing, the only guaranteed things in life are death and taxes. Choosing a 0% increase does not change the fact that we all pay property taxes and that is how Pennsylvania primarily funds its schools. 0% tax increase would, however, create uncertainty, add stress on district operations, and create predictable disruptions to our student experience here. And so please take those things into consideration as you make those decisions next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Orr. Any other public comment? Did you fill out a card, Mr. Flynn?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like just the school board to take into account that the previous person who spoke does not pay taxes in the school district. So when you're thinking about taxes, ask the people who actually pay them what they think. Thank you.
I proudly pay my South Middleton School District taxes, and I've experienced what really big increases look like due to poor fiscal management. There's nothing like a 7% increase.
Point of order, this was not an open discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Carmen. Thank you, Mr. Orr. Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Okay, we'll move on to approval of minutes. Motion to approve the Policy Committee, Finance Committee, Committee of the Whole, and Board meeting minutes from May 19th as presented. Do I have a motion? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Shea. Any discussion? Hearing none, I assume we're all voting in the affirmative unless I hear any negative or abstaining. Old business, do we have any old business? Hearing none, moving on to 8 new business personnel action items. Unless there's an objection, we will combine all new business personnel action items listed under number 8, that would be 8A through 8E, into one motion. Do I have any objection? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve items 8A through 8E? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Shea. Any discussion? Hearing none, I assume everyone's voting in the affirmative unless I hear a negative or abstaining. Moving on to new business action items for this evening. The high school TSI non-Title I school plan, as required by the Pennsylvania Department of Education and State Board regulations. The Board of Education for the Big Spring School District must review and approve the 25-26 Big Spring School TSI non-Title I school plan. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors approve the plan as presented. Do I have a motion, please? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Corman. Any discussion? Hearing none, I assume we all vote affirmative unless I hear a negative or abstaining. 9B, recommended approval of agreements. Dr. Sanders has reviewed the license and partnership agreement with Shippensburg University. She's also reviewed the ESS support services, the Therabilties Physical Therapy Agreement, the Shippensburg University Agreement for Hiring Program, the therapy services with Skybound Pediatric Therapy. And Dr. Ryan Taylor, the proposer from Let's Talk by K-12 Insight. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors approve the agreements as presented. Do I have a motion? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mrs. Shade. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, I assume we're all voting in the affirmative unless I hear a negative or abstaining. 9C, recommended approval of fundraisers. Mr. Pennant, Director of Athletics and Student Activities, recommends the approval of the following fundraiser: a cookie sale from June 23rd through July 7th to benefit the cheer program. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors approve the fundraiser as presented. Do I have a motion? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Shade. Any discussion? Hearing none, I assume we're all voting in the affirmative unless I hear a negative or abstaining. 9D, recommended approval of fiscal year 2026 property, auto, umbrella, cyber, student, accident, and workers' compensation insurance. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors accept insurance coverages as follows: workers' compensation quote from UPMC Work Partners, the liability insurance quote from Utica, the cyber insurance quote from PAIU, and the student accident coverage from Crump and Foster U.S. Fire. Do I have a motion to approve these insurances? I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Plummer. Mr. Myers made the original motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, I assume we're all voting in the affirmative unless I hear a negative or abstaining. 9E, recommended approval of planned maintenance service agreements. The administration solicited 3 quotes from HB McClure, Allison, and renewal of the district's planned maintenance service agreements for the boilers, the Trailblazer chiller. HB McClure provided a quote of $100,416 for a period of 3 years, and McClure Company provided a quote for $51,840 for a period of 3 years. The administration recommends the Board of School Directors approve a 3-year service agreement with McClure Company. Do I have a motion, please? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Shea. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
So $50,000 difference between the two companies. Can you elaborate a little bit? Anybody elaborate on what the difference is?
You couldn't find them.
Okay. I mean, I didn't see any.
Services are relatively the same, number of visits are relatively the same.
Okay. Do we have other contracts with HB McClure or?
This was the main contract.
Okay. All right. I just, to let the public know that there was no differences between the two contracts that I can see.
Right.
I just wanted to.
Yeah, I would concur with that, and we had several conversations with both companies leading up to this potential agenda item, and those are the numbers that we felt.
My other question is did we normally budget $100,000 for maintenance for these boilers? Because since we're saving $50,000, it's going to change our budget for the following next 3 years, I would assume. So that's quite a savings. So I do appreciate the looking at getting the contracts or getting other vendors to support the needs of the district.
Thank you, Mr. Hippinsdale. Any other comments? Hearing none, I assume we're all voting in the affirmative unless I hear a negative or abstaining. Recommended approval of intercom speakers replacement quote. The January 20, 2025 Buildings and Property Committee meeting, the administration concluded replacement of a 2-way intercom speakers for the Newville Elementary Summer 2025 capital project with an estimated cost of $40,000. The administration solicited and received 3 quotes for replacing the 2-way intercom speakers in Newville Elementary. The administration recommends approval to move forward with the lowest price quote from IP Phone Warehouse in the amount of $20,283.68. This project is anticipated to be paid from leftover funds from the Cellular Signal Boosting Program, remaining in the PCCD Safety and Security Grant. Should the grant not be granted, the secondary funding source would be the Capital Reserve Fund. Do I have a motion to approve the intercom replacement quote? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Foreman. Any discussion? Hearing none, I assume all voting in the affirmative unless I hear a negative or abstaining. 9G, recommended approval of security cameras replacement quote. March 3rd, 2025 board meeting, the Board of School Directors approved replacing security cameras not to exceed $50,000. As part of the summer 2025 capital projects, administration solicited and received 3 quotes for replacing aging security cameras throughout the district. The administration recommends approval to move forward with the lowest price quote from B&H Photo in the amount of $40,551.87. Installation labor will be provided by district technology staff, with the exception of any cameras requiring a lift. The installation of these cameras requiring a lift will be installed one-time, material-based, not to exceed $8,500. Do I have a motion to approve these security cameras? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mrs. Shea. Any discussion? Hearing none, I assume we're all voting in the affirmative unless I hear negative or abstaining. 9H, recommended approval of a laptop lease. The district's current 3-year lease for teacher and administrative laptops concludes on June 30th. To maximize the value of these laptops will be reimaged and repurposed for an additional 3 to 4 years of service. They will then be distributed to paraprofessionals and office staff, replacing their current 6 to 7-year-old devices. In March, the district issued an RFQ for new laptops for Lenovo, Dell, and HP. Dell submitted the lowest price per unit that meets the specified requirements. Subsequently, the district secured 3 quotes for the Dell Pro 14 laptops, with GD providing the lowest bid. Dell has also offered a 3-year lease option with a 0% finance charge, after which the district will own the laptops. Administration recommends approving the proposal from GDCIT for $367,125, payable in an annual installment of $122,375 over 3 years. Do I have a motion to approve the laptop lease? Motion, Mr. Myers. Do I have a second? Second, Mr. Corman. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. I received an email late this afternoon from Clay Falthrope he's the executive account manager for Pennsylvania Education. And I'll just read what it states here. It says, I am the school district's HP rep. I wanted to give you a heads up on the teacher laptop lease. I noticed that the district is choosing to move forward with the Dell Pro 14. I had also worked with the district and GDC on the HP model. The HP model was a nicer unit at a price of $87,000 less for the entire project, which is $292.96 per unit. Curious why the district would move forward with the Dell, considering the much higher price, especially with tight budgets. It's the second item on the attached quote. HP didn't have a 0% lease, but our overall price and yearly payment is significantly less. So, we according to this, that we're approving something that meets the specified requirement. What were the specified requirements that this lower price unit did not meet? And if we don't have answers to it, that's fine. I'm willing to table this to get those answers, provided it's not going to mess up getting the laptops in time.
Mr. Krebs, do you want to elaborate at all?
We're talking about laptops for our teachers so that they can do the work that they need to, whether it's grading, lesson planning, or using PowerPoint, whatever. So we're looking at whether we go with Dells or HPs or something else. Mr. Krebs, thank you.
So HP actually submitted 2 different laptop options. They submitted one that was comparable to the Dell and the Lenovo product. That one turned out to be more expensive, and they also offered a different alternative laptop, which I don't have the specifics on what it didn't meet, but what I do know is when we ran our benchmarks, it was the lowest performing laptop. The screen quality was not as crisp and clear as the Dell product, so we were basically comparing options that are comparable to current laptop standards and what we've been using for the last 9 years. And also thinking about the fact that we repurpose these laptops and we want them to last at least 6 or 7 years. So we felt that, not meeting, not having the best benchmark performance, and also, I don't think his numbers are completely accurate. Yes, it's about a $50,000 difference over 3 years, not the 80 that I think he mentioned. And also keep in mind that I think it's about 50,000 of the cost for the HP 845 is finance charges. So you're getting more for your dollar purchasing the Dell computers because you're not paying any interest. So you're getting quality components. The HP 845 is a nice computer. I just don't see it as being exactly comparable to the others.
Thank you, Mr. Krebs. Other discussion from the floor?
So my one question would be, if we table this to get our answers, would that be a conflict for the school district not approving this tonight?
No, it would. We can't order the computers until we were sure they wouldn't ship before July 1. Because it's actually a 25-26 budget item. It's included in the technology budget. So tabling it would just, be a minor delay. We typically will roll these computers out starting in the fall, probably a month or so after school starts, to give the teachers a chance to get their feet under them, getting the school year started, and then we would start rolling them out then. So it wouldn't create a significant hardship at this point to delay it for another 3 weeks.
Okay, thank you. Then I'm going to motion to table this to get the answers of what the exact cost differences would be between the two, because if we don't really know what the cost differences with the Dell 0% finance charge versus the HP model that he's suggesting, and what those performance differences would be. That's my motion to table.
I have a motion to table the laptop lease. Do I have a second for that?
Could I ask this question first?
Well, I have a motion on the floor to table. I either have a second, or I need to have not a second, and then we can have more discussion.
Second.
I have a second to table the motion. Now discussion on tabling, Mr. Myers, please.
I just had a question, Mr. Hiddensdale. This was a rep from...
Clay is the HP rep. I've worked with him for 9 years.
Okay, my question is, why did he approach Mr. Hiddensdale and not you?
Because he's a salesman.
He actually sent an email to Mr. Wardle and me, so I'm not quite certain, but
Mr. Krebs, you dealt with him.
Yes, I know Clay. I've worked with him. I had several phone calls with him over this RFQ process.
Okay.
And I've worked with him in the past and had bought product. But he is a salesperson, so he's trying to get the deal. And I would question, if the HP 845 at a lower cost is comparable, then why did they submit a proposal for a computer that is comparable in the HP X360?
I think that's what has to be emphasized, is that aspect. I mean, right now, I think we're going to end up comparing apples to oranges. If the school board's philosophy is we're just going to spend less money, then we need to look at a different category, because then we need to go back.
Right, we could go back to Dell. They probably have a different model.
The one thing that we searched out was the quality of the performance of the machines, and the Dell is comparable to what we currently have. And for longevity purposes, we want to do that cascading thing, so we can't purchase something that's not going to last.
And I agree.
I want to give Mr. Krebs direction relative, because right now we're going to table and the numbers are going to be different, but that's because the machines are different.
And that's why my table was specific that we have the performance standards, because we list in the agenda item that it was for specific, this item met the specific requirements. So I'm assuming that our tech put those requirements out.
Yes. Yeah, we developed an RFQ that had all the specifications that we were looking for.
So when he submitted these different options, I would assume they met those requirements at that time. Because the quote that he submitted had all listed, all the different models.
Right. It may have met the basic requirements. However, some of the other computers exceeded those requirements, and they were more in line with what our current staff has as far as a laptop. Didn't want to make it appear as though we were degrading the computer that we're giving to teachers.
And that's fine, as long as we have I understand he's a salesman, he's going to say what he's going to say to get the sale, but in his words, he's saying it's the same, it's actually a better unit.
Sure.
So I just want clarity on that before I'm going to, because if the savings, he's saying it's an $87,000 savings, but if it's not actually $87,000 as you say it is, if it's only $20,000 in savings based off the interest, 0% financing.
Sure.
Those are the numbers that we should, as a board, have to make a good decision.
Okay.
What brand do our current teachers have now?
Currently, they have Lenovo ThinkPads, but Lenovo came in at significantly higher this time around, primarily because they're manufactured in China, so they were faced with the potential of tariffs. Both HP and Dell had facilities where they're not impacted by tariffs.
Very good. Okay, so I have a motion to table, more discussion, Mr. Farmer?
Do you know which benchmark tools you're using?
You know, I don't know off the top of my head, but I can find that out. One of our technicians uses it's a cloud-based, it's a free benchmarking tool. The name escapes me at the moment, but I can get that.
Yeah, I'd like to know, so just email it to me.
Sure.
If that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Is the direction to look at the lower budget unit and then develop comparative entities? That I want to make sure that we put because again, we're back to, we have a machine that's cheaper, but it does less. And we have a machine that does more, that is more expensive. And if the direction is we want to be in the less expensive, less capable machine, then we got to go to Dell and tell us to give us a price for that type of machine. And that is the difference between the two machines and the cost. The email states that it's a comparative machine. I've met with Mr. Krebs and his team several times. We had a whiteboard up there, we had 4 columns. There was metrics that were done to do the analysis. I just don't want those guys spending too much more time because we're going to come back and we're going to say this does X and this does Y. X costs this, Y costs this, and it won't be the same machine, if that makes sense. And if we're saying that I want to go ahead and I want 3 of the cheaper machines, then that's the direction that we got to give it down. Because they're not in that machine category. If they take quality X and quality Y away, they'll get to that in terms of the longevity of the equipment on the outside, the durability of the unit. I held both machines in my hand, and you could physically feel a difference between the two. And if we're going to go ahead and we're going to have tabling it is fine, I completely understand that. I just don't want these guys in the middle of the summer wasting time on a more expensive machine because we're comparing it to a lesser expensive. We're going to get the lesser expensive machine because, as he said, the metrics were exceeded by the Dell unit and met by the HP unit. So if we're eliminating that exceed part and we're going to the met, that will change the quote from Dell, correct, Mr. Krebs?
It may. I don't have
Or we gotta get
their whole
machine-
product catalog.
Yeah, machine catalog.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure I provide the direction that's necessary.
Dr. Grant, can I ask a question? Did these prices come off the state bid list, or do you know?
Do you know if the prices came off the CoStar's list or some other?
Typically with HP and Dell, it can be PEPM, but since we did 3 quotes in RFQ, they actually came in with prices that are better than what you could get on state contract.
Well, I'll confer with Dr. Grant on these items. Some of these things, the Commonwealth has put out guidelines on bidding technology, and so Dr. Bronte's point is, are you bidding apples and oranges? So we need to know that first of all. But then on the purchase of these things, there's a debt element to this too, because we're incurring debt for 3 years. So there are some debt filing requirements to go with this. So I think the motion to table is appropriate because it gives us a chance for me to confer with Dr. Bronte on that and with you as well. So I think you ought to look at the state, at the CoStar's numbers and see what they look like.
When we put the RFQ out, we had specifications. The machine that is being presented as a tabling met the specifications. The machine that is presented exceeded the specifications. And then there were other variables. My only question is, are we just going with the ones that met the basic requirements?
And you have a right on computers, for example. Some of these things are proprietary, so you can buy a Dell because it does certain things. You can buy an Apple because it does certain other things. So this is a category of thing where there is some discretion. But I agree with you that you ought to know exactly what performance you're looking for. But more importantly to me, though, is to meet the bidding requirements, because getting 3 quotes, I'm not sure which program you're under to supply the funds here, but getting 3 quotes may work and may not work. So I'll follow up with Dr. Bronte on that, make sure it's done correctly. Thank you.
We have a motion to table and a second. We've had good discussion. Do we have any more discussion before we vote to table? So there are 2 options. If you vote affirmative, you're saying to table it, send it back, do some more comparison, look at the financing, look at the cost overall, and make sure that we're comparing apples to apples. Or if you vote no, then you're saying I don't want to table it, and we go back to the original motion to see if we get approval there. Any questions? Hearing none, I assume everyone's voting the affirmative to table the laptop lease motion, unless I hear a negative or abstain. No. No, 1 no. Do I have any more? Let the record show there was 1 no vote. Okay, so we have tabled the laptop lease, and hopefully by the 23rd, we have a new information possible. That concludes the regular action items for this evening. We'll now move into some information items. School safety and security coordinators are required by school code to provide an annual report that was given to us this evening and is being forwarded to the state. Invitation to bid for food service dishwashers and middle school serving line equipment that will be coming at a later date for the middle school and Oak Flat. Moving into board reports, Athletic Council, Mr. Fisher.
Next meeting is this Wednesday, 4th.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Building and Property Committee, Mrs. Bigger, Mr. Fisher, Mr. Hippensteel, and myself. David, do you have anything?
The meeting was, I feel like I was away for it. Somebody else has something to say.
Anything for Building and Property from anyone else? Okay, thank you, Mr. Fisher. Capital Area Meeting, Mr. Foreman.
Nothing at this time.
Carmel Perry Area CTC, I attended the last meeting. They did have a great graduation for their students and mentioned a lot of the NOPI reports. Things are moving with the building, but it's not broke ground yet. So they're still working through some permits and other things with the building project. We do have a lot of our students that have been selected for next year. Dig Committee, Mrs. Booth.
We had a meeting tonight. The committee decided that we were going to make a motion to dissolve the committee. That will then go to the board, hopefully the next meeting, to see if the board agrees that our work is complete and that we can dissolve the committee. So the next meeting, I don't know when it is scheduled, but it would be next month or the month after, but that may be canceled depending on the outcome of that.
Thank you, Mrs. Booth. Finance Committee, Mrs. Booth, Mr. Shade. Mr. Shade, would you like to make a report on that?
Mrs. Linsky gave us a finance update this evening, and I believe the next update is
23rd.
the 23rd, which is student finance.
Thank you. Future Ready Comprehensive Plan, Mr. Fisher. Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Policy Review, Mr. Farman.
I think the next meeting is the 23rd of June.
Correct. South Central Trust, Mr. Farman.
Nothing at this time.
Tax Collection, Mr. David Fisher.
Nothing.
Future Wellness Committee, Mr. Farman.
Nothing at this time.
Future Board Agenda Items, Mrs. Shade.
Yes, I have something, please. I would like to request a charter review of the Policy Review and Development Committee to enhance oversight. The committee charter was adopted on June 3rd, 2024. Section 10 states the committee shall conduct an annual review of its charter to ensure alignment with the purpose and responsibilities, making revisions as necessary with approval from the board. As the charter is reaching its first anniversary, I request that the committee conduct this review as outlined. Additionally, I propose an amendment to the charter concerning oversight of allowable and acceptable expenditures related to developing new policies. The amendment I suggest for committee consideration is as follows. Development of new policies shall require board approval before incurring any expenditures. This amendment aims to safeguard against the potential wasteful spending associated with the development of new policies. I want to prevent the district from accumulating significant costs, such as legal reviews, for new policies that do not have the board's support. Until the committee conducts its annual review of the charter and establishes an amendment requiring board approval for new policy spending, I would like to propose a motion to block any and all new policy expenditures that come from the Policy Review and Development Committee until the appropriate board approval is obtained. And I have a copy.
Thank you, Mr. Shade. You'll give that to Donna and Dr. Bronte, and they will include that in the next meeting. Any other future board agenda items? Superintendent's report, Dr. Bronte.
Enrollment steady, 2,354 students, 138 cyber regular ed, 95 cyber special ed, 221 home ed, 118 CTC. Bumped up a couple for kindergarten registrations, roughly 121. Hopefully that'll fill itself out over the course of the rest of the summer. We celebrated 180 graduates on Friday once we got past the disappointment for having to be inside. I thought it was an absolutely wonderful ceremony. 93 of those 180 are going to 2 or 4 year colleges. 17 are going to CTC type programs to further their career. 41 are preparing to enter the employment area directly, and 3 are going into the military. 19 earned distinguished diplomas, 23 earned a GPA over 4.0. 26 were graduates from CTC in 14 different programs. 100% of our students passed the NACHI exam. 83% passed with an advanced score. And 3 of our students earned the highest FFA degree known as the Keystone degree. So our graduating class made us proud.
Thank you, Dr. Bronte. Business on the floor, board member comments, Mr. David Fisher.
Just want to make a comment about graduation. I didn't notice this in a different place, but I thought it was just as great. And I was absolutely blown away. I'm impressed with the 23 kids who had 4.0 over 4.0. I didn't have anything close to that, and I thought I did pretty good in high school.
Nor did I, Mr. Fisher.
That was impressive. 23 out of 180. I thought that was a pretty good ratio. And then one other comment about taxes. It was mentioned tonight that we have had below the average increase in county. I just would like to mention that until last year, when we did not raise taxes, we were the second highest in all of Cumberland County in our tax rate, and that was second only to Canada.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Parker?
I'm going to add a little bit to what Mr. Fisher had commented on. So the Act 1 index was created because schools were raising taxes on their constituents without any oversight. They were raising the taxes by large amounts. So the Act 1 index was created to foretell the constant raising of taxes from school districts to the populace. The Act 1 index has been, in my opinion, being used as a goalpost for schools recently. So the Act 1 index says you can only raise the taxes 1.5. All the schools go, yes, let's raise the taxes 1.5, without actually looking at any of the cost or trying to make any adjustments to the spending. So again, the whole purpose of the Act 1 index was to curtail the schools from continuously raising taxes, and the index allows for just moderate raises due to inflation. It doesn't mean you have to use it. It doesn't mean you should use it.
Mr. Ken Fisher?
Nothing at this time, sir.
Mrs. Baker, please. Mr. Myers? Mrs. Shea?
Okay, so since the board has recently approved the K-12 Insight Customer Service Program, and many of you missed my comments about it during a previous DIG meeting, I wanted to take this opportunity to share the information again. Let's Talk is a cloud-based program designed to help districts deliver superior customer service. The platform features a streamlined inbox, provides real-time data, and includes a Let's Talk assistant, which allows community members to ask questions, report concerns, and provide feedback 24/7 from any device or channel. This includes forms, text messages, phone calls, chat boxes, and more, ensuring accessibility regardless of technological access. The program enables the district to set critical alerts that automatically flag and escalate serious conversations, such as those related to bullying or safety concerns. Additionally, the platform includes an AI chat box that offers real-time support and immediate interaction for both internal and external customers. This feature will be extremely helpful for community members seeking specific information. The streamlined inbox, easy access to tip line, critical alert system, and AI chat box for real-time support will significantly enhance community engagement and responsiveness. Thank you once again to Dr. Bronte and the administration for allowing me to be part of this process, and I believe that the district and the community will greatly benefit from this program.
Thank you, Mrs. Shea. Mrs. Booth?
I'd just like to add, as a graduation, it was nice to see that everyone was able to change gears and have it inside, and it was a beautiful graduation. I really loved it outside last year, but this year when my son graduated, we were inside, and it was just as nice. And I really appreciated everyone's speeches and all the work that went into that. I appreciate all of our teachers there, supporting our students, and all of our administration up on the stage. And it was just wonderful. So thank you for all of that work that went into that.
Thank you, Mrs. Booth. Mr. Episdale?
Kind of echo with the graduation ceremony. It's, I know that wasn't an easy decision for you, but we had it inside, and it really felt personal. One thing that you don't get with it being on the football field, the parents are at least 100 feet away from their child. So having it on the football field is just a little less personal. It's nice because we have a beautiful football field. It's absolutely amazing. But having it in the gym was the right decision. Didn't feel right at first, but it was absolutely the right decision. So I kind of question if maybe outdoor ceremonies, if maybe we could get some bleachers closer to the students and have it something similar to that. We can work on that in the future, but I thought it was really nice because the parents really, I heard a lot of compliments from the parents saying that it was close and they enjoyed it. So just something to think about, but that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Hippensteel. I would just like to say the word flexibility. I think with graduation, there was a lot of people a little bit on the edge, whether it was technology department. Thank you, Mr. Krebs and your team. Dr. Durante, I think we started talking the day before, and then early in the morning, and 3 or 4 texts and emails. But the whole team of everyone that makes it happen, they were flexible. We couldn't control the weather, but we could control the outcome. And so because of flexibility and us working together and being a team, I think we were able to make it work. And I thought it was an outstanding graduation. Also want to give credit to the post-grad committee. Myself, Mr. Hippensteel, Dr. Bronte, Dr. Carnes, and several others were there. What a great event for our students that are now graduates, but giving them a place to come and belong, and prizes and food, and just all the great things that happen at post-grad. I want to compliment those people and recognize them. And they were meeting tonight to plan for next year. I shared a few words with them. So thank you to the post-grad committee. So we've reached summer. We've reached the summertime when we can recharge, but I have a challenge for each of you, not only as board members, but also the public. What are you going to do for kids this summer? Who are you going to be involved with? What club or group or field trip or something you'll do with a student? Maybe someone is in your neighborhood, someone that doesn't maybe get the attention. They're still kids. They still need an education. They still need opportunities. It doesn't stop, June 1st. It doesn't just pick up September 1st. They need experiences and opportunities. So we have pop packs, we have different programs in our communities, but find somebody and give them your time. I think that would be very beneficial for them and for you. And we're very grateful for our school. We're very, very grateful for our students that are now moving on to the next phase of their life. We wish them well. But it takes all of us to educate a community to raise a child. So I have a motion to adjourn. Motion, Mr. Shea, second, Mr. Myers. There is no discussion. Hope everyone has a great evening. I will declare the meeting adjourned unless I hear negative or abstain. Have a great evening and enjoy your summer.